Welcome to the full button tutorial of the 2024 Toyota Prius Prime. This is the SE, the entry level. Typically with the tutorials, I like to start from left to right and then work my way onto the screens. With that said, let's begin. Starting on the door, we have a button here with a green LED to lock the windows to prevent passengers from opening them. Then we have the auto down, auto up, one touch, hands-free window switches on all four windows. In front of those, we have the door lock and unlock, and like all Toyotas, there are two little bumps on the lock button so you can just feel for it instead of looking. Then we have the adjustment pad for the side door mirrors with a neutral position. By pushing the L, I can toggle the left mirror, the right mirror with the R, and neutral, so if I hit this, nothing happens. On the driver's seat, I have a lever here to recline the back, and this will actually raise my height or lower my height down like this. Between my legs is a bar that I can pull up to slide the seat forward or back and click into place. Don't forget that all Toyota floor mats lock onto the floor with two locks. When the arrows are lined up, you're locked. With a quarter turn, you can unlock the mat. Just make sure when you put it back in, you lock it and double check. The steering wheel telescopes and raises level or lowers level. Once you find the right spot for you, you can push this lever up to lock it back in place. On the left side of the dash, we have three buttons here. We have the operation for the automatic high beams, defrosting wiper blades, and a heated steering wheel. If we move up a little bit here to the top right, we have the brightness adjustment for the speedometer, signified by the up and down arrow, and the odometer and trip selection. Onto the steering wheel stalks. The left stalk, like on most Toyotas, operates the lights. We have a couple different positions. We have off, daytime runner lights, parking lights, and lights on. For the right side stalk, this operates the wiper blades, and the wiper blades come standard with an automatic feature which allows you to change the sensitivity for the rain sensing wipers. Of course, clicking down again will do low constant and down again will be high constant. There's no rear washer fluid or wiper. Even though this is a hatchback, you only have washer fluid in the front. By pulling this towards you, it will squirt some washer fluid on the windshield and wipe away. Onto the steering wheel are two big pads, so there are no buttons on the back like all Toyotas. There are two pads, starting with the left. The first button here is the MID selector. So when I push this button, you'll see the MID will pop up on the screen, and when I push it again, it goes away. So I can tuck that MID away by simply pushing this button. Now when I'm in the MID, I can use the up and down or side to side arrows to change what screen I'm looking at. Then I can hit select or back, depending on what menu I'm in. The top right button is going to answer or hang up phone calls, and then I have a volume adjustment down and up. And lastly on the bottom is the audio commander button. If I push it once really quick, it will initiate the Toyota audio assistant. If I push and hold when connected to CarPlay, it'll do Siri or Android Auto. By pushing and holding, it'll give me the Google Assistant for audio commands. On the right side of the steering wheel are a couple buttons related to the automated driving systems. So the Prius has Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. This button will start the adaptive cruise control, but I can change the cruise control mode back to normal constant speed cruise control with this button here. The top right button initiates the lane tracing assist, which is the advanced portion of the lane departure alert that helps the car stay in its lane. But when I'm in cruise control, I can increase the speed or decrease the speed like this. I can cancel with this button over here, and I can change the following distance / sensitivity right over here. You will see some notches on the MID screen, which is on the side, but it'll transfer that image over to the center where the speedometer is. You'll see that in the MID portion of the video. And then of course we have the song selector here and the mode between AM, FM, Bluetooth, and Sirius radio. For the Speedo cluster and MID, like I mentioned, there's a button for the MID, but I'm going to start with the Speedo cluster. So with just the Speedo cluster here, we have a TAC lookalike here, so we have the charging. Let me get a little closer. This shows you that you're driving into a charging range where the vehicle is going to charge itself. Here's economical driving and here's powerful driving. So that's going to change while you're driving, kind of simulating what RPMs would be. Of course, on the top right, I have the outside temperature. Then we have the time on the top right. Bottom left, we have the trip A. Of course, I can use that odometer and trip button to change that. There's my service miles. If I push and hold, I can clear it. Then on the bottom right, we have the battery percentage and the fuel range, which is the amount that it calculates we have left. The red lights on the right signify that my seatbelt is not clicked in, but the parking brake is engaged. That doesn't mean the vehicle's in park, it just means the parking brake is engaged. You can tell the vehicle's in park because of this. So if I do shift it out of park, there's drive, there's reverse, and there's park. We will get to the shifter soon. There's some other symbols here. The full tank is on the right. This signifies that the adaptive cruise control is on, the little car with the arrow. Lane trace assist and lane departure alert are active. Hybrid vehicle mode is active, which means the vehicle is going to choose to regen itself as much as possible. And this little guy here is popular. The EV car badge tells me that the engine is off and I'm driving as if I am an EV at the moment. Now onto the MID. When I initiate the MID with the MID button, there are a few different menus which you'll see here on the left. Starting with the top, the little leaf symbol is your Eco menu. This is going to give me information about my driving and gas mileage. So here's my Eco mode Eco zone while I'm driving in real time. Here's my Eco score depending on starting, cruising, and stopping. If I go left to right, you see those little circles on the bottom. This means there's multiple pages. Here's my total average. Don't judge this, guys. This is based off of driving around in the parking lot, going on and off. And then we have the EV driving ratio and trip time. So great to see some real-time economy stuff. Give your car some miles before it really calculates appropriately. Moving down is the navigation menu with cruise control. So this shows me the sensitivity levels to my cruise control, which I can change with that sensitivity button on the right side of the steering wheel. And of course the compass. So this will show me the direction I'm driving and the road I'm on. Down again is my music, so I can push OK for source, and I can change my different source right here instead of playing with the screen. Of course, there is a separate video for the screen we'll talk about. And vehicle information. So here's my trip distance and total time since I started the vehicle. An energy monitor, so I can see if the battery is being regenerated by the brakes or the engine, or if the engine's powering the car or the battery. This also shows my battery percentage. Here's my individual tire pressure. And the settings. So this is where I can change settings to the safety sense system. Lane departure alert settings, if I hold OK on the steering wheel, I can change the alert on or off, the options from sound to vibration, and the timing. Over here we have the blind spot monitor. I can turn it on and off, change the brightness of the lights in the mirrors, and the timing. Pre-collision system, that's the system that's going to alert me if I'm about to hit a pedestrian or a car and brake on its own. I can change the timing and turn it on and off. And I have the proactive drive assist, which will actually give me some steering and braking assistance during turns and regular driving. I can change the sensitivity and turn some of those features like steering assist or deceleration assist on or off. This changes the park assist, so if I push and hold, I can change the volume here. Nothing crazy. Park assist just beeps faster as you get closer to things. Then we have the rear cross traffic alert that beeps when it senses movement behind me while I'm parking, specifically cars. I can change the volume. The parking support brake. So this is the automatic braking for the parking sensors. So if I'm connecting to a small trailer or if I'm going through the car wash and I don't want to continuously braking, I can turn that on or off. And you'll see this little orange symbol here. Whenever any of the safety sense systems are off, that will show the little orange symbol over there. And it's going to keep the warning menu lit up. And I'm going to turn that back on. Safe exit assist, part of the new Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, will use the blind spot monitor system to alert you when you're getting out of your car and it suspects or senses there is a possible collision with an oncoming car. I can change the sensitivity and turn on or off the mirror indicator, which will do a strobing effect to the orange light on the mirror. Then road sign assist, also part of Toyota Safety Sense. For the notification method, I can do above the speed limit or not, and the level over the speed limit where it notifies me. And dynamic radar cruise control. That's what we sometimes call adaptive cruise control. That's the cruise control that changes its speed and brakes and accelerates for you. I can change these settings, the acceleration level, which is really nice, and the guide messaging on the screen. Some vehicle settings, like charge settings. I can set a schedule, the current, connector lock, I can change how that stuff works. The brake suggestion, in case it thinks I'm driving sleepily. Traffic jam assist, which will do the work for me while I'm driving in traffic jams. The driver monitor camera recording, I can turn on or off. That's the camera that's looking at you to see if you're paying attention or not. Lane centering assist, on or off. And front cross traffic alert, that's going to operate very similar to rear cross traffic alert. I can change the timing / sensitivity and turn it on or off. The regen braking, which is how it regenerates and recharges itself while you're braking, I can change the level that it does that, which is really nice. If you want it to drive more like an EV, you can up that deceleration, and you can even change the deceleration memory to on or off. The tire pressure warning system, I can switch the tires, I can rotate, and I can change the settings. All great to see, stuff that we did not see before. And the driver monitor settings, the monitor alert that's looking at me, I can turn that off. Scheduled maintenance, I can reset the data. The oil maintenance for the engine, important stuff here. And the rear seat reminder, if I never have anything back there and I don't like it reminding me every day, I can go ahead and turn that off. Oh, one more. Lastly, the meter settings. If I hold OK, I can change the language, the units, the meter type. This one's nice. You can turn the hybrid system on or off. You can see that there where the gauge is. The EV indicator I can turn on or off. And the EV drive information, eco information, music. So this is stuff where I can change the settings to what shows on each of these screen menus. To kind of consolidate the MID. Of course, for pop-ups, if I don't like certain things to have a pop-up / banner alert when I change them, I can turn those off, and I can go back to default. The last menu here on the MID is the warnings / messages page. This will stay lit up orange like you saw when it senses something is trying to tell you, say it needs maintenance or one of the systems is turned off, it'll store it right there for you. So there you have it. That wraps up the Speedo cluster / MID, which is kind of like a combo now. Let's move on to something a little more simple. Buttons by the shifter and the shifter. Buttons by the shifter. So starting with this big P, you don't actually have to push this even though there's a little hole for you. That's for the technicians. This button is the self-applying electronic parking brake. So when you take it out of when you take it out of park, it'll disengage the parking brake for you. And when you put it back in park, it'll re-engage for you. Signified by the word park in red right over there. HV charge hold. So you hold this and it will switch it off of HV, which is hybrid vehicle mode, and this will help the vehicle charge. So this is going to basically change the way the vehicle behaves. So you'll see, if you could hear, the engine started and it now says charge mode. So if I want to boost the charging of that battery, say I'm taking a lot of short trips, I can change that there. Now if I push and hold here, I can turn off charge mode. You can choose electric vehicle mode if the battery is charged enough, but if it's not, it won't let you do that. Then here's auto HV, which will actually have the vehicle determine what it needs to do for you. On the right, we have the cancellation for the vehicle stability control and traction control, in case you need some wheel spin to be allowed, and the brake holder feature, which is really nice. You can come to a stop, it'll hold it for you, signified by the yellow light that looks like this, and then you take your foot off the brake while you're still in drive. Very convenient for when you have injured legs, feet, hips, etc. Right below the shifter is the drive mode lever. I can do this while moving or stationary. This will put me into sport mode, normal, or eco, signified by the screen here. There's also a custom. Most people will use eco. You can see the color changes down here a little bit too. Goes to red when you're in sport mode, and you get banner alerts on the screen to let you know what mode you're in. For the shifter, if you're new to Prius shifters, I can no longer call this a Prius shifter because the Grand Highlander Hybrid Max has this, and the Crown, and I think more Toyotas to come. It's very easy to use. The little diagram shows you just go over and down and release for drive, over and up and release for reverse, just over and release for neutral, and straight down for braking, which is like your regen and for steep hills. Park is just by pushing the P button, so just to demonstrate, of course you have to push the brake. Now I'm in drive, now I'm in reverse, and then down to park, and the parking brake applies. Super simple, stress-free. For the climate control, we are gifted with a regular tactile button/lever operated HVAC system. What's really nice is things are pretty close to where they are on the screen. For instance, this lever operates the fan speed, this operates the direction, or I can push auto and it does it all for me. Of course, I'm going to turn this down right now because we're filming. Recirculate an AC for me if I want to make it extra cold. Fresh air button right next to that. And on the left, front and rear defrost right next to each other with defrosting side mirrors, and I can turn the system off like this. To resume, I can just push auto or turn up the fan. Very simple, very easy to use, and if you look close enough, we have the little red and blue for the temperature. Everything's very easy to change. Above the climate control, we have the button for the hazards, not the park anywhere lights. And we'll save the screen for last. Folks, if you like the video so far, please consider subscribing. Just takes a simple click and it makes all the difference for not only me, but other people who might find this video and be assisted and helped by it. So if you could just do me a huge favor, please like the video and give me a subscription if you would like me to have my content get out to other Toyota fans or people that don't know anything about them. It really shows YouTube and me that you enjoyed this video. Moving on, overhead features. So there's no auto dimming mirror standard. It's just a simple flip switch. And we have touch activated lights and a crystal white LED. Of course, I can turn them all on like this, including the back ones. And I can operate it with the door opening or not. No more levers. Simple touch activated. Speaking of touch, if I flip this, I can also touch and push the SOS button for Safety Connect, which is included for 10 years or until the 4G network goes away on all Toyotas. That's a recovery system in case you get into an accident or have a medical emergency. Great thing to have, but I will say these are really nice. For the sun visors, this little door opens up and the LED light comes on, and we have the sun blocker for when the sun is in that awkward spot. Let's talk a little bit about the screen and then wrap up the video, guys. So for the screen, please check out the link in the description below because I dive deep on this screen, a new software system, but we have some settings here. There's a lot of different stuff you can change. You can even turn the screen off. This is where you access your music. When you're connected to Bluetooth, this screen is basically going to become your phone screen, but I can access my equalizer here, change the way the screen looks, put it in a dark mode, and I can even go to Vehicle Customize and change some of the lock settings. This screen here is nice because you can see the energy flow, so that's a larger version of the small diagram you saw on the MID. This will show you when the engine is powering the battery, when the engine is powering the electric motor to power the car, when the battery is powering the car, when you're plugged in, what's going on. It gives you a really nice diagram with color-coordinated arrows that go in the proper direction to show you. Definitely nice to see. And there's a cloud-activated navigation that you can sign up for through Toyota. It works pretty nice. I do suspect most people will be using Waze, Google Maps, and Apple Maps, but do check that out. This is a slight redundancy. You're only going to use this to get connected to Bluetooth and enjoy your connected service with the phone, and that pretty much wraps up that screen. So let me know what you think, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you found this useful. I tried to keep it pretty concise. If there's anything I left out by accident or forgot to go deeper into, please let me know down below in the comments because you know you can always find me there. A great big shout out and thank you to my supporters, my subscribers. You guys, you mean the world to me. You've showed me that it's worth doing this Toyota content. I love you guys. And to all my soon-to-be new subscribers, please shout out down below that you subscribed. I'll catch you down there, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.